Hi traders, welcome to the roundup for the week. It's been quite a good week, so let's get into the charts, but first let's get the housekeeping out of the way. Unfortunately, I'm supposed to do this. We know that the video is for educational purposes only. By watching this video, you agree not to hold the truths of the video responsible for any ideas or opinions expressed. You understand that the currency market is high risk, and that you stand to lose a lot of money or make a lot of money. And if you've got any doubt with being in the currency market, you should really go to a qualified and registered financial advisor and get some advice. I'm not one of those, so that's out there and done. Let's get into the real business of the charts. So firstly, I just want to take a quick look at the trades that I've been in this week, the longer term trades. And the first one is the Aussie New Zealand. And remember the entry was off the 4-hour chart. And I'm just going to go through and look at it. The processes that I go through. So, going way back to earlier in this year, we all know that the charts go up and down. So, for me, this had been an uptrend, and of course, we come to the top up here in August, and if you've been trading this in, and for me, as long as it's above particularly this line here, I just stay in. And once it closes below this, I get out and I'll get in again. So in this case, once you've been in for a few days, weeks, which is often the case with these trades, I will just leave one on the table, and in a situation like this, you can just see that it's going to turn around, because here we have an opening, didn't even go near the high of that previous candle, closed almost as low as the low of this bar, and then it just dropped down and had a little rest and a pullback. Then she went flat for a few days. So that range is not a big range really, and you have to have your trailing stop at about 120 pips, and you would have been fine, and you'd carry on up here. Now that whole move, once you're in the trade and you've got your first and second positions off, and you've added, because there's several opportunities to add here. Here was the close above the baseline, and the green go for getting in, and here's where you put your entry to be triggered on, and away you go. It's that simple. Now the high did close, but we're looking for the close of these candles. Okay. So even though that broke, it pulled back. There's the close. So you could actually, now that I see it, you could actually go down here. And your risk reward's pretty good. Here, if you get taken in, I just go below the last bar, about 140 pips, and away you go. And this is where, like I've said many times, this is where the big money is. This is how you make money in the market. And if you're worried about the big stop losses at times, once it gets going, you can close them up, or you can go down to a lower time frame and get an entry with a smaller stop loss. The options are there. So out of this whole move, before we get to be pulling back, so I always look for on these long-term trades, I love to go for around about 50. You usually get about 50 to 100 pips for your first position, depending on where the major support resistance is. Now you can see here that there's a support resistance area here and here. So that there is going to be a key area of resistance in this case. So when you get in here, you just target those areas for your first and second positions, and there's 100 pips there for your first position. You take your 100, and by that time you're willing to break even plus, and you just trail at the ATR, average true range. It's an indicator on your MT4 platform and should be fine. And then you just hold it, and here's the exit indicator for me generally. And like I said, once I get into the big moves, like if it comes and closes below this down here, I get out. But once you're in the big moves, you get first position off and you're in good shape, you just wait. This is where you add again. You see the pullback, you see it open, it tried to go higher, it closed lower, and we've talked about this before. That's a good indicator, not foolproof, but it's going to have a pullback. And it did. It went again the next day, and then it pulled back down into here. And so by the time you've got 100 pips in the bank, and you're nearly 200 pips up at this point, from the entry to here, you're 345 pips. Trailing at 120, 150 pips is not a big deal, whatever the daily trading range is, and average true range. Because you've got plenty of money in the bank. You've already got your second position on for over 200 pips. That's 300 pips out of the trade to start with. So I just wanted to take a look at that and explain that again, because it's such a good way to trade, and you can develop it yourself. And so once we get back down on the downtrend, you just do the opposite. And so in the big picture, you can see that we've had a move up and a move down. So here's your first push. Okay. Then there was a pullback, and it came as low as this. Now you can trade in here, or you just wait for it to turn around, or you can. Because remember, we're doing everything. I'm doing everything around the day. Now this push here was shorter than this one, and generally, if that is the first push up, then this one will be a lot longer. And you can be aware of that stuff. But this was just a 1, 2, 3 move by the look of it. You can get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move, but not always. And that's why I don't use the wave scenario as a backup to, or not a backup, but a foundation for trading. It's just so unreliable. It works really well sometimes in trending markets. And so all we have here is a possible swing, and it looks like we just may be going higher, and so that's why I was willing to come on off the bottom here, because it had come all the way back down here. It made a lower low. It took, look, it went up and then it came back, couldn't make a lower high. So 1, 2, 3, there's a dead giveaway right there that we're probably in a reversal. So if this had come back down here and not taken this area out here, then I would have been looking to go north again. But in this case, I wasn't, because it made a lower high. And so all you do is you get in here. You can be aggressive like I am, and you can get in earlier and get in, but this is the conservative approach. It doesn't make a lower high. It breaks the support area, and look at this area. If you look left, you can see that it's been a key area before. So it's just real basics, real simple, but very profitable way of trading. So with that being said, I spent enough time on it. Let's get in. So right now I have got my stop losses protecting my trade, and I've just with the stop loss now I've popped it up into here, and I have 2 positions left open, and I will look for some sort of retest here, and if these hold, well and good. If not, that's alright, but we'll just go again. So remember that we have down here been making lower lows and lower highs. So what I'm looking for, if I'm going to add to this trade, this thing has got to go something like this. It's got to pull back anywhere in here. This area here is a buy zone, provided this level holds. And if it holds, I'll wait for a turnaround, and I'll wait for an engulfing candle, just like you can see here. See? We opened at the close of the previous candle and closed higher than the high of the previous candle. Nice little giveaways, and we were due for a little bit of a correction if we go continue in the trend. Right. Let's quickly just take a look. The Aussie USD has finished its run on out, and we'll get rid of the drawing tools here. Where to from here? Let's just squish it up. That was the original entry down here. Let's see. So we were down in here for the original entry somewhere. You're using the daily chart. And now I'm just watching this candle today. It could not make another high. Look, look. So it opened at the close of the previous candle, and it kind of hasn't done too much. So I'm going to have a look at the 4 hour, and what I can see is that we are in a bit of a range thing going on here. So I am not really interested in trading this unless it breaks out of this range here. I'm just looking for a square box, and I aren't finding it. This might be it here. No. Sorry, I'm just can't find the box. Patterns. Anchors. Brush. Rectangle. Here we go. So unless it breaks out of this area here, I'm leaving it alone. So it'll be next week before we get some sort of direction on a bigger scale. Let's take a look. Take this off. You can see that it broke out there. That's why I was willing to add, because it broke out of 0.74. So for me, that was where I was going to get in again. And of course I did, and the rest is history. A few nipples and doing some more trouble. So now I'm just going to leave it alone, see if it moves sideways early next week. Maybe this level will hold. There's a lot of talk out there in the marketplace suggesting that this is going to go higher. And as you squish your charts up, you can see that this is a very key area. So watch it. We've talked about the Aussie New Zealand, Aussie CAD's having a pullback. Nothing going on the Aussie JPY. If the Aussie dollar is going to strengthen against the US, I am watching this, but in order for me to trade the Aussie JPY, I will not be getting in unless I break 70 out. Right, that's the Aussie pairs. Nothing doing on the CAD pairs at this stage. The pound, we'll come back to the pound on the end. I want to check the euros, do the euros next. And we're still in this sideways movement, so there's nothing to do but wait. And you can see this range here is tradable. It's big enough, it's over 200 pips if you want it. And the way I'd probably approach it if you were trading that range would be go down to the 4 hour. But it's, it's closed up, and I just am not bothering. That's where you get beaten up as a trader, and I don't like getting beaten up. I like to make money. So we'll see. If this comes a little bit higher, it'll be interesting because you have a left and right shoulder and a head, so you'd be a head and shoulders. But this could take weeks to develop. Euro pound, there's nothing going on there. Euro JPY, I closed this as well. As you know, I've been in here, and I just decided to close that last position when it came and started to retest this level here. So let's take another quick look at this, because I think that if we go to the monthly, you'll see what I've been really kind of excited about. Monthly, here we go. And if we squish this chart up, you'll see what I mean. Here's this trend line that I was keeping an eye on. You can go through. I mean, trend lines are subjective. That's why I take too much notice of them. But I was looking for the break of this trend line on the monthly, and there's a key area here that if we break this area, I think that we could have a decent move in the monthly. Now, with the break of this trend line, I have traded it up. That's all I've done. So now I'm going to wait for this to be broken. Euro NZ. Very similar to the Euro AUD, and potential, if we break this level here, we could come lower. We'll just have to wait and keep an eye on it. It's a waiting game sometimes, but there's nothing here. We can go to the daily time frame. You can see that we've had the break here. Of course, this trade's been stopped out. And all I'm doing now is waiting to see if it holds above this level here. This is a real interesting price zone. And we are still in the downtrend. Well, but for weeks this could just go sideways. So it's just patience. Watch this level here. If you want a resistance and a support area to be watching, and we'll just see what happens. Euro USD. We've had some lovely moves, and taking profit again, got stopped out up here, as you can see. And you know, that's it was eyeing up 1, 2, 3, and I would expect maybe some sort of a pullback, you know, somewhere in here. I will be looking to buy again if it pulls back into here, but right now there's no trade. Right, let's do the New Zealand USD. It looks like, and of course I'm out of that as well because it pulled back. By a couple of days ago I had moved my stop loss up into here under yesterday's candle and now out, but that's all good. And now I'm looking for some sort of pullback. I think that if it's going to get up to 71 or 0.71, we're going to get some sort of pullback, and I'm looking to buy from here. Now let's go to New Zealand here. There we go. We're in a deep pullback at the moment. So you can see I had this move. This was the move up that we called a few weeks ago. And we're coming back down. And I'm going to just simply wait and look to see if it can, first of all, retest this level here, which it already is. And now that it's broken that, the next level that I want to see as to whether it's retesting or not. And it's a little bit bold for me, is this area in here. And this will be my buy zone in here. There's no point in looking at the New Zealand Swissy. USD JPY, US CAD. Let's go to the US CAD first. Now the reason you're seeing this dropping is just simply because of the dollar index. Now today, after non-farm payroll, we've had a little bit of a pull-up, but you see this move here on the dollar index. That's why we've had those good moves on the Aussie USD, the New Zealand USD, the USD CAD, and even that's why. So coming back to the USD CAD, you can see the run that's been down there, and I talked about that level. So we're getting lots of little runs at the moment, but they all add up. You know, that run down there is worth having. You know, you got in there and away you went. You know, that's over 200 pips. You know, and that's, you know, you trade standard lots, that's $2,000. So once you master this technique here, and as Dan, I was talking to Dan yesterday, and he was saying, you know, when everything lines up like you showed me, it actually works, and it does work. USD Swissy's been a little bit trickier, but again, you know, you would have caught a move of there's 100 pips there. You would be stopped out now. After you did have your first position was off, and just hit the second position. So, you know, there's 150 pips plus another 80 or so when you get stopped out with your trailing stop. You know, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nearly 300 pips just out of that here. Now, I haven't counted up all the pips that I've traded. And just while, you know, let's go to the US JPY, look at that New Zealand JPY in a minute. But here we go, we're locked in. You know, we're locked in between this range And just don't, I don't like that either, so I'm going to go back to that. Yeah, here we go. So we're locked in between that range and 104 is key. And it's had a couple of little breakouts below, but it hasn't been able to get going. Now, if the US dollar continues to come lower next week, I will be in on any break here or a bounce back off here. Right, let's just quickly take a look at the New Zealand JPY. You can see after our initial trade, as we got in from down here, across the baseline, entry was good to go, green, and away we went. Had a little rest here, and I got stopped out because I had my stop loss, my third position under there, and large uncle, but there's a lot of pips there. I'm not complaining. So now it's similar to what we've seen on the New Zealand USD. And all I'm looking for now is some sort of pullback. And so we've made a higher high here, another higher high, and until we make a lower low, which is just in here, we're not. I'm not even entertaining it going sideways or reversing. So here's the key level. So watch that level, and if you get a turnaround, it'll be worth going again. Right, let's take a look at the pound very quickly. Pound AUD, very messy at the moment, and let's go down. First of all, there's no decent big moves at the moment on the pound, and we're getting close for this stupid Brexit thing to be over. Hallelujah. And so we are going to get some breakouts one way or the other. I went all of that probably in the new year. So it's just, for me, just playing around with the London Frankfurt Opens. And you can see that this range is around 200 pips. Yeah, roughly. And you can take that up a little bit higher, like I always hear me say, it is subjective. And you could take this one up here. Right. And probably I would lower it a little bit tighter. So, until these pound pairs break out, I'm not interested in any long-term moves, and they're all the same. Pound Swissy has had a nice little pullback. It broke this range that it was in. Pound JPY has made a little bit of a move up, and taking advantage of that as best I can. And so, you just pop your key levels in here, because we are going to get some really good moves, and probably into early 2021 on these pairs. Pound ZD. This is a critical area here. You can see it when you squish your charts up. So just being patient. This pound ZD seems to be in this range around about here, but like the pound AUD, until it breaks out, it's not worth mucking about with, except using scalping, Frankfurt, London, and that's a little bit fickle around these pairs. The most reliable pair that I've had has been pound USD and the Frankfurt, London. Second would be pound JPY, and this would be a second to pound AUD. So they're all the same. So we're not going to waste a lot of time on them. The pound USD in particular is at a critical inflection point at 1.35. Now, let's it's worth having a look, because if the US dollar continues to weaken, once Brexit's sorted, I think we're going to get a really, potentially we can get a very big move on this. And there's a lot of ground to make up since they voted to come out of the European Union. So let's have a look at this. So you can see this is its key area at 135. And you'll notice that it's also pretty strong. Look at it on the weekly. And we've been in this, since Brexit, we've been in this long downtrend. Now, I think if I'm right, this was, oh, I can't even remember when Brexit was. It was so long ago, and it was a couple of years at least now, maybe a bit over a year. This might have been the big drop of Brexit here. It did gain back a little bit from where it dropped, and we're just sitting there, just cannot break this level. And so all you do, like I've said many times, is put your levels in one. And any break across here, I'm going to put my toe in the water. I will keep like lots sizes low to start off with and build into a trade. So keep an eye on that. Now I just want to finish up with gold and with silver. Now, we had this nice little breakdown, which was lovely, and the jury's still out as to which way this is going to go. And I just wanted to show you the weekly perspective because it's nice and tidy. Now here are the key levels for me right now. The 1900 level, which is right in there somewhere. And the 1800 level. We got the break below the 1800 and it looked really promising. So that's been done, and you can see. So once we break this here, we had this nice move. We broke down through here, and it was a nice little trade, but now we're back up into this range. And when you look at it from a daily perspective, you can see that this is a key area here. So if it breaks above 1850, I will dip my toe in the water, and I'm very much, this could be just range stuff again, but I don't think we're ready to make another move significantly up. And just as a little trick, there's the trend line. Probably somewhere in there. That was a breakout, so I don't want to put it up there. But there we go, just hold it going. Get a break of that trend line, a break it here, and I will dip my toe in here. Silver, you can see the range that silver is in, and there's my line in the sand. This could carry on for weeks, for months, and until I get a break out of these levels, I will not be trading it. Now, if I get a bounce off this level like here, I will trade it and try and trade it back up to here. This here is a decent kind of range. There's 27 points in it, so for silver that's not a bad sort of a move. But I have got alarms set above and below here. And if we get below, this will probably be a good area to hopefully aim for, bearing in mind that it can change its mind. But here's the breakout point. And if we get the break above here, be very wary if you get up to this level here, because that's a strong level undertaking the trades of the titanium. So with that being said, it's been a fairly long session, but I just wanted to go through and show you where I think things are at, and to encourage you to look for those bigger moves. Keep doing your research and study. I'm not happy with my momentum indicator, and I'm always looking to improve that. So while I'm waiting for trades to come along, I'm just doing testing of momentum indicators. It's a bit boring, but it's worth it. So I trust that you and your families are safe. So stay safe, take your precautions, and keep yourself safe from COVID. Have an awesome weekend, and I'm looking forward to the next trading week and the opening of the market next week. So take care, and we'll see you in the chat room. Cheers.